Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
My name is Optimus Prime. Autobots, roll out!
Well, this is it, my friends. This is a day I've been waiting for quite a while. It is the last, the ultimate, the final pack of the Agora Models Optimus Prime build. I've got everything laid out. The table is set. All I need is the mailman to deliver it, or the delivery service to deliver it. I've been reading the instructions over the last week. It is so huge that they have broken it down into 4 different sections: their body, the matrix, the blaster, and the axe. And I haven't decided yet, I won't until I see all the parts, whether I want to do the body first or do the accessories first. If I do the accessories first, it clears out those parts out of the trays. It gets them off my table, off my plate, so to speak. And it also prolongs the build just that much longer. I expect it to be a marathon build. But it's Saturday. I've got all my chores done. The weather is overcast, so it's no temptation to go outside, do any yard work, anything like that. I am ready for a day of Prime goodness. It is Prime time, Optimus time. This is the what he would be if he was made out of a DeLorean. It is Prime time indeed, my friends, and I have been waiting for this one. So hopefully the mailman will get here soon, and we can get started. Well, to quote the old man from A Christmas Story, it is here. It's mid to late afternoon, but still plenty of time to build today. Look at the size of these trays. There were 4 trays in the last set. Look at the size of that axe. Yeah, time to get down to business. Now I gotta think. Do I want to do the smaller, I think if I did the matrix and those types of things first, I could get a lot of those parts off of my plate. So I think I'm going to do the matrix first. Okay, starting on the matrix. Now, the first thing you have to do is go back to the last delivery. Remember, we had this tray in pack 11 that we didn't use a lot of parts out of. That's because this was all matrix and blaster. So the instructions say to pull these 4 parts, which are the handles, pull those out, and then everything else is in the instructions for this pack. Plus I got to get a lot of nuts and bolts and screws out of the tray out of pack 12. This is going to be truly an epic build because I've been at it for over an hour and all I've gotten is the matrix done. And I got to tell you, I'm at a loss here. I built it like I said. I don't get it. It's not sparking joy here. There's a light in it. There's a module in it that lights. It's got 4 lights in it. 4 lights facing forward and 4 lights facing back. There's no way to access the switch. I don't get that. Am I missing something in the instructions? Am I just that dense? I got all of the sides put on with the magnets. And see if I can pull the side off with the switch. Maybe I could show you. This is a little bit of overkill to have tabs and magnets to hold this in place, I must say. I was thinking that once it was together, and once you pulled it apart, that some part would rub up against that switch and turn it on. That does not seem to be the case. At least not in the way that I've got it put together, and I think I've followed the instructions correctly. I don't see where my problem is. Here's the switch. See, it lights up the matrix nicely. The problem is there doesn't seem to be any way to reference that switch. When the matrix is open, you can get to it, and then that's another thing that I'm not getting. When it's closed, there's no way to latch it. So it's like this. There's no. I'm not seeing any way for this to snap together or to magnetize or to otherwise latch in such a way that keeps it closed. When you open it, it does this. I think I've got those on right, but there's nothing that rubs up against that switch and turns it off or on, and there's no way to latch it when it's closed to keep it in position. I'm checking the instructions with all my might, and I'm not seeing anything. So if anybody has got a better clue, please put it in the comments below. What I'm going to do is move this to the side, put it back as best I can, move it to the side, and maybe do the axe next. That'll get those parts done, and then I can get back to Prime proper. But yeah, this is so far no bueno. Okay, like I said before, there's the matrix. Does the lovely pulling apart thing, but nothing to hold it in place when it's together. There's no stand for it to clip into. I am not going to glue. You're supposed to glue these two halves together. I'm not going to do that yet until I am 100% sure that there's nothing I've skipped or missed or just never got. So we're going to put the matrix to the side, and we're going to do the vibro axe. Okay, we're working on the Energon axe right now, and something looks familiar. Wouldn't you know it, they are using flexible filament, just like Maria, the kit that I built. So seems to be cropping up in more places. Now it says to take this and put it up in here and then wrap everything. Let's see, that's supposed to go that way. Make sure we have room in there. Okay, that goes. Yeah. We're getting there. It's taken a while, but we're getting there. I'll show you this one as soon as I've got it lit up. Alrighty, in the realm of stupid mistakes, guess what I did? I made a stupid mistake. Luckily, it's not a fatal mistake. It's just stupid. But I don't know if I want to accept the total blame for it, though. When is a magnet not a magnet? When it has no attractive properties whatsoever. These are the lieu of magnets. In lieu of magnet, these little guys here, they're just little pieces of metal. They don't stick to each other. They don't have any attraction towards each other. They're dummy magnets. They're metal things that magnets are supposed to stick to. And here I thought, because the bag that they come in doesn't have a number, doesn't have a letter on it, you only get a reference about what tray they were in, or what pocket of the tray they were in, as to what number they're supposed to be. And that only helps if, the tray wasn't bumped and they didn't get into another pocket or something like that. These have no these here, go ahead, be on camera. These here have no magnetic personality. They have no properties. They are meant to be stuck to other magnets. And what did I just do? I just put the matrix together using all of the magnets instead of half of the magnets and half of the metal things. I don't know if I want to accept complete blame for that, even though it's kind of spelled out. If a careful reading of the instructions could have told you that these are number 168 and not number 170, even though they are identical. And the bag that they came in was not numbered. There was no little number. Like, see, on these bags of screws, on these bags of screws, there's a little number on there. These, with the magnets in it, have no numbers. They look like this. This is another bag of magnets that has no number. And I'm guessing these aren't magnets. These are just pieces of metal that magnets are meant to attach to. Here are magnets. These are stuck together. They've got no number on their bag either. So, my whole history of using magnets told me that you're going to be using magnets and they're going to stick to each other, and that's the way life is going to be. Not that there's going to be magnets and pieces of metal for magnets to stick to. So the matrix has all of the magnets in it, and they're all glued in. They're all CA'd in. They're not coming out. And this is so that we can keep the lid on there, like that. I've got other magnets in my life. I've got magnets on my shelf that I can use. That I'm going to, I will use the portions of these metal things that I have to. But I will use, luckily, I have magnets of that size. I pull all of these magnets out. They're all stuck together. Let me make sure that I've got them. They may be a little thick. I'll have to check. But I think I've got magnets that I can make do with. So, you know, lesson learned. But you wanted to see it lit up. There it is, lit up. Again, the camera is centralizing it more than it is, but it is lit up. And if you hit it again, it flashes. And if you hit it one more time, it goes off. But, you know, luckily, unlike Matrix, this has a switch I can get to from the outside. And it's got three batteries in there. But you take that off to replace the batteries. So, what I'm going to do is use some of the magnets I've already got and go ahead and glue these guys down that have no attractive properties whatsoever, and we'll carry on. Right, starting on the blaster now, and the lesson I have learned from this afternoon's endeavors is I am not gluing any metal or magnet in place until I have gone through the whole thing at least twice to see whether I need to put the metallic part down or the dead metal part down. So we're just going to do it without magnets first, come back and then retrofit the magnets in. I think that's the only way to be sure about this, because it does not give you any hint as to which is which, particularly when they are the exact same size. So it may not matter as long as you keep them paired up. So that's where we were at. But I'm working on the blaster now. Got the circuit board in, got the battery box in, and the switch. I think I'm going to put some batteries in that and test it before we get too much further down the line. And here is the blaster finish. Now, I'll tell you, it's nigh on 7 o'clock now. I think I'm going to take a break. I think maybe I will do Optimus tomorrow. I will settle for doing the 3 things tonight. But look at this gun. This blaster could have been a chapter all by itself. I mean, it could have been a pack all by itself. You have opening panels here on both sides. You've got an opening panel there. It's got a battery pack of its own back here. When you push on the clip 3 times, well, you push on the clip first time, you get a steady. You push on the clip a second time, you get a breathing version. And I'm not shining this directly into the camera lens because it's very bright. And then one more time turns it off. So first time is completely on. Second time is fading up and down. And third time is off. Okay, so I've been making repairs on the Matrix. Doing work that Wheeljack would be proud of. It took a lot of soaking and debonder, but I managed to pry these 3 spots out where I had put magnets, and I will try to replace those with these dummy blank metal bits. I couldn't get the magnets out of here, which I would have preferred, because they fit too tight and I can't figure out why we need magnets and these pins. That's a bit of a mystery. The magnets or the pins would work. Why do we need both? If it comes down to that, I will just leave the magnets out and rely on the pins. And then there's the switch to turn it off and on again. Leave that fine on the back. And by that token, why do we need anything on the front? Why don't we just glue that in place? Why does that need to have magnets or pins in it or anything? It would just make more sense to go ahead and glue it. Save those magnets for another instance. But that's what they asked me to do, so that's what I did. There's no reason not to close that up. If I could get the magnets out of here, well, I don't really need them. I only need one more magnet to do what I need to do here. I've got 3 magnets in there, and it does fit pretty tightly. I can live with it the way it is. If I can't get any more magnets out, I'm happy. But for the life of me, I cannot figure why they chose to do it that way with pins and magnets. Like I said, you could glue that down just with the pins and be completely happy. See the back of it, I'm only using the pins and it's staying on quite nicely. So there you go. Alright, I may end up regretting this, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Prime body tonight. The one thing I can tell you, after having built the Matrix and the blaster and the axe, is should have maybe done this first. I don't know. That was a lot to get through, and maybe I should have done the body first. I can tell you that the Matrix and the blaster are going to get repainted. Their colors are just too flat on them, and they're just going to have to be stripped down and at least weathered. If not, maybe not completely repainted, but the weathering on them and the detail work on them is going to have to be done. Particularly on the Matrix, I'm just not wild with some of the color choices and the detail on there. So that may be the subject of a future build or a future video series. But for right now, we're going to start on building however much of Prime we can build without adding it to the waist. So maybe we'll start on the back and the chest, and we'll see how far that goes this evening. Working on the Prime part of this, and we've got the head now attached. Haven't seen the head since stage 1, but we've got the head down, and its neck joint is here, and it's doing all the turning and twisting, starting to do the shoulder and chest that it sits in. Sit that over here. We've got the battery pack, which goes on the back, but it's got the on-off switch and the batteries in here. More magnet fun. And this piece of back. And it's fair to say that Prime's got back. Now it looks like we're getting into our first metal piece. All of this has been plastic so far, outside of the parts of Prime's head that we already did. But this is our first piece of metal, and it looks like it goes on like that. Wow, okay. Looks like it goes on way down at the bottom like that. And yep, okay. Boy, we've been running through the 2.3 by 6 millimeter screws. I think that's been pretty much what we've used on the majority of this build. We haven't even gotten into using any metal screws yet. Scads and scads of these. Now they are PB, they're not PWB. I've made that mistake before. PWB are flanged, PB are not. And like I said, I don't want to get to the point where we are adding this to the body or even adding the arms to this. So I think we're going to be getting ready to close up here for the night pretty soon. So that's that chunk on there. Now it wants to take the battery box that we've done, and it goes over top of all of that. So I'm presuming that these wires pass through the holes in the plate, and these wires pass through the hole in the plate. And that sits down like that. Yeah, that's... See, we've got the wires passing through. And that's still more of the PB. And it goes through the plate and into the plastic. So it goes through this side and into the plastic. And it's 4 more of these. Not putting any oil on this because even though it's going through metal, it's ending up in plastic. Okay, and that's where I'm going to shut it down tonight, because the next thing up is the matrix, and I really don't want to look at another one of those today. I'm looking ahead, and I see that yes, I did. Let me say, make life more difficult for myself by using up all those magnets like I did earlier. I've got to use that. I needed to have 2 magnets to hold the matrix in place, but I'm going to use a couple of my own. They're a little bit smaller, but they'll do the trick. And this time it actually says use. Let me see where it says it. It calls them out as 168 magnets. It says. Yeah, right there. 168. No, 168. Sorry, 168 is the blank. It's the dead metal ones. It's 172s. But it does say use 2 times magnet 172. So if I'd have known magnets were 172, I would have. If I'd have done this first, I probably wouldn't have made the mistake on the big matrix. So there's a lesson learned for you too. Alright kids, welcome back. It's day 2. Day 2 on what was supposed to be a 1-day build. We are finishing up Optimus Prime today, the Agora Models Optimus Prime. I just got back, it's Sunday afternoon, I got back from services where, amongst the many other things, I prayed for the strength to get through this build. This has been a bit of a marathon. And as you see, where I stopped yesterday was we're working on the chest, and we're starting to work on the matrix of leadership, and by golly, one of them a day is enough. That's why I decided this was a good place to stop. But we're ready to pick it back up today. We've got the base of it here, and we're getting ready to put it into the chest. Now, I will tell you that I've had to substitute my own magnets for the magnets that went into the chest area because, like I said yesterday and chronicled in nauseating detail, I used up all the magnets incorrectly yesterday. And had I started with the body and then done the accessories last, I probably would have still made the same mistake, but at least I would have used up the good magnets here and not had to dip into my personal stash of magnets until I got to the accessories. But let's get back to putting the somewhat smaller and easier to build matrix of leadership into this chest. Alrighty, just like its bigger brother, the smaller matrix is done and inside the chest, and it was no treat to put together either. I don't know what I would suggest other than it's probably best if you sand the chrome or the silver paint, the chrome paint, off of the mating surfaces that are going to glue, and don't just glue it at the points, but glue it all the way around, because I'm getting a lot of unnecessarily ugly seams like that, and I can tell, just like its bigger brother, it's going to get some repainting and some detail washes on there. But yeah, I mean, it's just, maybe it's my regular scale modeling disciplines coming into play in this part work arena, but a lot of their plastic on plastic mating surfaces are leaving some ugly seams that really could stand to be sanded and painted over. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to paint over the blaster, but it's got some of the same problems where you've got that long barrel and you've got a seam running down the center of it. It's the nature of the beast with part work builds, but in the scale modeling world, those seams would never fly. Okay, it says the chest is now complete. We've got the inner doors that cover up the matrix, so that'll all be visible through the windshield. So we put that to the side, and now we attach the left arm and chest. So I need to go get the left arm, and I need to move a lot of this stuff. Actually, I think I need to pull those two pieces out of this tray and then get rid of this tray. That will give me a lot more space on my table. So let me go get the left arm. Okay, we've got the left arm and the chest here. Opening door. I've taken the hand off just because it's awfully clumsy to work with it that way. But we have the big chunk here attaching to this shoulder. Now we can do the big arm movements that we couldn't before because we didn't have leverage on that part. But now we're going to do the same thing, but only to the right arm. Now we have both sides of the chest attached to both arms, and we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the electronics now. We want to label all of our lines so that when we put them in the board, we're putting them in the right spot. So I don't know why we couldn't have been doing that all along, but what the hey. Let's go ahead and do it now. Okay, we are to the point now where we need to attach this to the hips and waist of the rest of Prime. So that's something that I'm going to try to do here on the table, but I don't think it's going to happen. I need to go get the legs. Got to move this mat off of here. We're going to go get the legs and stack this on top and see exactly what we're dealing with. The answer was no, that was not easy. This is him standing on the table, and I've placed the shoulder, the upper chest, and the arms just on top of this plate. I've noticed I've pinched some wires here or folded them back behind that joint. I don't believe it's supposed to be that way. I don't know if I can live with it or not. I noticed it's not the same as this one. And I'm thinking one of the two ways is wrong, depending on which way it's supposed to be. One of the two has to get redone. But that means tearing a whole bunch of stuff apart to get to it. So we're going to see just how much of an impingement that is before I decide to do it. But literally, I am standing back a good 4 paces from the table to get everything in screen. I think I'm going to be better off sitting him on the floor. Okay, I found a way to get them all on the table. I'm sitting him down. He does, luckily, with all of this, with all the posability, he does bend the way you need him to bend, but I'll pull some of these skirt pieces up out of the way and maybe move his arms up so that I can sit him down fully, and that way I can work on this area right here. Okay, as you can see, the head is on. It's taken quite a bit because I broke something in the arm that I had to go back and fix, which meant finding what issue that was in, deconstructing it, and reconstructing it, but it's working again. We've got everything going on in here. I have tested the electronics. They work. Huzzahs and handsprings there, but I'm not going to show it to you until I finish. I've got a few scant things to do. The neck and the shoulder plate, and just a couple of little final parts for the neck, and we're done. We're like 2 pages away. So yeah, we're on 47 out of 50. So let's go ahead and put this piece on, and we'll finish up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from clear across the room, I bring you Optimus Prime. Finished. Final. Done. Now, before I run through the features, I wanted to show you the open chest, the open matrix that we control with a remote. Hit the button on the remote and the matrix lights up. Now I want to close up the chest so that I can show you the rest of the neat features. Close that up, and then that closes up, and that closes up on top of it. I think I might have a magnet fighting here that wants to be negative about things, so I may have to look at that. That's a magnetic plate. Actually, that's just a metal plate. The magnet is here, so I just need to get it close enough that it is making contact. Might have to touch that a little bit, just that latch right there. But let's go through some of the features here. Maybe if I kill the overhead light first. Let's darken it up in here so you can get the effect. This is the axe. Tough to see. Well, not tough to see, but you're not getting the full effect unless you're in a darkened room, and if you hit it twice, it does that. And a third time shuts it off. Now, the gun, sorry, the blaster, first hit on the cartridge there is a constant on. If you stare into it, boy, you'll get yourself blind in a hurry. That's a strong light. Second knock on that, and it will fade up and down. And one last time shuts it off. Okay, now I'm going to take the weapons out of their hands and out of the hands and repose them so that I can run through the regular lights and such. Okay, we're going to try to go down the line of features. Now, the problem I might have, there's your eyes, and eyes back off, eyes, double click on the eyes and they fade in and out. It plays the theme, and I don't know if I'll get copyright strike on it because I do that, but we'll go ahead and play the voice. Now, the voice quality on this is tremendous. I've heard a lot of toys that had voice chips in them, and they don't normally sound this good.
Greetings, people of Earth. I am Optimus Prime. More than meets the eye. The Autobots need your help to defeat the Decepticons. Let's roll. Always a hero. Greetings, people of Earth. I am Optimus Prime. Greetings from Cybertron. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Autobots, roll out. Survival of the strongest.
I'll go ahead and turn the voice off, leave the eyes on. Now, here is the music. I don't know if maybe if I talk over it, it won't recognize it as being copyright, so I'll turn that back off. But it goes into the full. I'll turn that off. And then, of course, you have to have this. You got to have a transforming sound. Now, here's where we get into the fun of the lights. There's the headlights. And if you hit them twice, they dim, or the second time you hit them, they dim down into low beams. I've done the matrix light, and then the last one is, oops, get this matrix out of the way, is the tail lights or the toe lights. And if you hit those twice, the brake lights blink, or the backup lights, the turn indicators blink. You just do them twice. You hit it twice, they'll both go off. But if you hit it once, then hit it again, you get the blinking. and all the way up. Now, I will tell you that I am grateful as all can be, that those joints were so tight when we were putting them together. Remember how you could barely make the elbows move or barely make the knees move? You're thankful for that now, because as tough as this is to bend into position, it does stay once you've done it. And that's the important thing. And of course, you have all of these guys that flip up so that he can do seated poses or anything like that. The base I still have not gotten yet. The base I'm presuming will come any time now, or maybe even a month from now, I don't know. And then that will tell me whether there's anything else that, you know, if the feet lock into a position or whether they just stand on the base. But all of these bits, and of course the tires move a little bit, and all kinds of jointed mobility. All of the fingers are jointed. They do hold the weapons. The hands are on sockets, and the whole hand comes out. That's how you can put the axe. There's a socket here, and you can just put the axe, pull out the hand, socket in the axe like that. And this is the troublesome matrix. Trust me, if there was anything I would consider to be not a detriment, certainly not a detriment, but it's a nice thing. I wish it was a little bit better presented. There's no stand. Again, maybe the base, when it comes, will have a place to lock the matrix in, and I won't have that problem. But for right now, it's got no stand. It's got no way to clip it together in the closed position. I tried making Prime hold it open, and that didn't work so very well. At least not for me. But there you go. A year in the making. A little bit more than a year, actually. But here we have the final Optimus Prime. Now, if you want to see this in person, I am bringing him to Wonderfest, because there's going to be a display of anime and Macross and robots and mecha and all of those kind of things. And you can't really say mecha without saying Optimus Prime. And I've changed back into my Optimus Time shirt to give you my closing thoughts. A, is this heavy? Oh man, is it heavy? It is. No, I can't. I can pick it up, but you don't want to see me make the face I make when I have to pick this thing up. It is tremendously heavy. Would I do it again? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. I loved every minute of this build, except when I realized that I had used all the magnets in the matrix and didn't save them from where they should have been. That was a dumb mistake on my part. It's a learning curve. This is the first part work I'd ever built, and that's not true. I'll tell you a lie. I built the R2, the Agostini R2D2, and which is now available again. That was a different experience. This is heads and shoulders far and away better experience than that was. I can't wait to see what they come out with next. I'm not a big 1/8 car builder. A couple of the things I've seen that I've liked, you know, there's a Terminator out there, there's an Alien out there. This speaks to me. If they do any more in this series, I'll be the first to sign up for it. It's going to put RoboCop to shame. RoboCop's going to come up. It's probably going to end up coming up to about Prime's waist by the time he's done. This is a big bot. I like big bots, and I cannot lie. Maybe I should make a my selfie. See if I can do this. There's my. Maybe that's my. That's, all you see is all my chins. That's not good. But it's a fun build. It was a great lot of fun. Like I said, it's been a year of fun waiting for this. I can officially, stop hanging around the mailbox waiting for this thing to show up. I can delete a couple bookmarks that I had for the shipping companies. And, I can't wait to see what's next. I'm glad you enjoyed this series. I hope you got something out of it. Join us next time. I'll continue to do these special builds. I've got ET cooking from Fan Home, so maybe I'll switch over and do a series on ET now that Prime is finished. So until we meet again, have fun, be good to each other, and we'll see you here next time.